Hi everybody, I'm Verna from Stampin' Notes. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Western New York. And hang on a minute, I've got to move my ear things. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of technical difficulties today, so got a little bit of a slow start, but I have a really fun class to share with you today. It's featuring the Valentine Kisses bundle, really cute bundle with bears, and I'm gonna, this is a card class, so you can get the cards free with a purchase, the kits for free to make your own cards. Um, so I'm going to point down to go to my project view. And if you're on, say hi. Tell me where you're from today. I'm excited to be here with you. So this is a cute little Valentine Kisses bundle, really cute sentiments. And then there's those darling bears. There's like a little sign here, angel wings, little birds, a teddy bear, a bouquet. I'm not sure what this is. Does anybody know what that is? I probably should know what it is. And then the dies are just absolutely adorable because you've got a little stand you can make. You've got the die cuts for the bears. And I don't know what this is. Does anybody know what that is? So if you know, I would love to know. If you're on, if you're watching, say hi. Tell me where you're from. I love to see where you're from and uh, love to say hi to people. So we're going to get going today, and I'm going to go back to, let me see if I've got the right. Somehow we switch back to my view. We want the project view. Okay, so for our first card, actually this is a 6x6 one sheet wonder. And I'm gonna cut two pieces of designer series paper that are 6x6 inches. And I'm using the fabulous Made with Love 12x12 designer series paper. And this was out of stock. It's back in stock, but fabulous paper for Valentine's Day. I think it's Flirty Flamingo, Real Red, Poppy Parade, and maybe Pretty in Pink. But isn't it beautiful? I just love it. So bright and cheery with those hearts and dots, hugs and kisses. So I'm using this paper today. And I'm going to take two pieces and cut it 6x6. So I think I'll use this one. And I think I'll use one of the pink ones because I like what's on the back. This right here. Well, I like both. But you can see, isn't that pretty? That's that Flirty Flamingo. And you will get the PDF tutorial and everything to make the cards we're going to make today. You'll get the template for the one sheet wonder. And so we've got our two pieces of DSP. Just want to make sure, well, it won't really matter which way we're going because it's 6x6. All right, so I'm lining it up here at 6. And this is great because you can make a set of 4 cards, or you can cut 2 pieces at a time and make 8 cards at once. Or you'll have everything you need to make the 8 cards. Now this does have a bit of a direction, this one, so I just want to make sure we're going the right way with that one when we do our cutting. I'm going to show you the template. Here's the template for this right here. You will get this in, I will be sending it out in my email, but as I said, if you place an order of $50 or more with me this week in my online store, then you will get the template and the directions and the cardstock and DSP to make 4 cards. And then if you order $75 or more, I will include a pack of these beautiful gems here. There's something prism, pearlized faceted dots are really pretty. Aren't they gorgeous? Super pretty. So this is our cutting template. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that down. So we're going to cut it 3 inches right here. All right. And then we're going to cut this. We're going to turn it and cut it at 3 inches again, which is cutting the layers in half. Remember, I've got 2 pieces. So this is my upper piece. This is my lower piece. And we want these 2 pieces that are 3 by 3. Sorry, can't talk. And then we're going to cut these at 1.5. So we will have 4 1.5 inch pieces. 1.5 that way, and then 1.5 this way. Sorry, I need to bring that down just a little bit. So we're going to have 4 of those. 1.5 by 1.5. All right, we have, so I've cut 2 different sheets, 6 by 6 sheets. Now we have our other half that's 3 by 6, and we're going to cut this at 4 inches long right here. And then we're going to cut each of this piece into 3 1 by 4 inch pieces. And really I'm cutting 6 because I've got another sheet under there that I'm cutting. All right, so we've got those. And then this remainder here, this is 2 by 3, and we're going to cut these into 1 inch by 2 inch pieces. So we'll have 3 or 6. Make sure this is straight. There we go. All right, so let's bring those back in so you can see the pieces. So here's those pieces, and then we've got our 4 by 1 inch. Let me move this down a little so you can see it better. We've got, this is cut into 1.5 by 1.5 inch squares. And then we have 2 3 by 3 inch squares. Okay, so we're going to make 4 cards out of this. Actually, we're going to make 4 cards out of one of the 6 by 6 inch pieces that's cut up. And then you'll have extra to make 4 more cards from the other pieces that are left. So, hi Margaret. Hi Sharon, nice to have you on there. Oh, you guys, it was so bitter cold here this morning. I'm glad I didn't have to go anywhere this morning. Down to like, I don't know, Margaret, what did you guys have? I actually didn't go out, but it was pretty, and then with the wind chill made it even worse. All right, so we're going to take a piece of Flirty Flamingo cardstock. This is 8.5 by 5.5. And you can score it at 4 1/4, or you can do what I did and just fold it in half. There, like that. And I'm going to burnish that fold down with my bone folder. And we're going to add, the orientation is going to be this way, landscape. And we're going to add a piece of, sorry, I got distracted because my sheet's crooked here. And it drives me nuts to look at it crooked. Moving it around a little bit. Let's see if this is better with the way my phone is. Okay. Move it down just a little more. Oh, Margaret, you said 2 degrees with the 11 degrees with the wind chill. Yeah, it was pretty chilly. Okay, let's see if this works better. All right, so we have that. We're gonna, on the front of that, we're gonna add a piece that's 5 by 3 3/4. I just want to make sure I got this right here. We're gonna add this to our front here. So I'm gonna bring in my little tweezers to hold it and my glue gun. There's something exciting that's going to be revealed in the Stampin' Up! World tomorrow. So be watching. Something new, a new product that everybody's been waiting for. So that is exciting to see what that is. Okay, so there's our layer there. All right, and now I'm going to add a piece of the doily. These doilies come in, aren't they beautiful? There's 3 different sizes. There's real red and there's like pretty and pink. And I'm going to take one of these doilies and I'm going to cut it right in half. So I'm bringing my trimmer back in here. I'll put it right here like this. And I'm going to put my trimmer in the, or my blade in the middle so it doesn't tear it. And we'll save this other half for another project. All right, and so I'm going to take my doily, I'm going to adhere it or layer it on the card. Does anybody else have this set? And we're going to put it about like this, just like that. Now I'm going to take 3 of those 1 by 2 inch pieces. So I think I want to use the lighter, I want to use the Flirty Flamingo color because that goes good with that. And I think I'll use one of the hearts and then another Flirty Flamingo colored one. And I want to lay it out here. So I think I measured it up. You want your end ones to be about 3/4 of an inch in from the edge. So let's see, so from the basic white, so it's going to be about where I've got it right there. And I'm going to add this, put my ruler back down again. And you want to lay your end ones out first. Oh, good grief. It's hitting the lamp that's on the edge here. So right about there. And slide them down just a little bit. Okay. Oh, that's a good idea, Margaret. And then to reuse the doilies that you had from before. And we're going to go in 3/4 of an inch on this end with this one. All right, so it's going to be about right here. And it's got to come down a little. This has got to come in a little bit. I'm going to line this up with that line and this line right here. You see, that looks pretty even. All right, and then we have our middle one. We're going to put right here like that. All right, so that's what we have so far. I have a die cut label from the Textured Notes dies. and it has a really pretty edging around that. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment on there using basic Memento Black, and this says bear hugs and kisses. And I'm just looking to see what I did with that stamp. Happy Valentine's Day. Here it is, bear hugs and kisses. And I don't want it centered because I'm going to have a bear over here, but I want it just a little bit more to the right side of the label. Bear hugs and kisses. I'm going to add this on with dimensionals. Now this is nice. This is a great way to make several cards at once. And I'm looking, here we go, here's our dimensionals. And we're going to center that right over those little 1 by 2 inch pieces of designer series paper. Bear hugs and kisses. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, so we need a bear. And so I have already, just for convenience, stamped and die cut our bear out. I'm using this bear right here just to save time, and I'm going to color him in with Stampin' Blends marker, and this is, I want the light crumb cake. That's ivory. We are going to use that. Let's see, and there's a bullet end and a brush tip on these. There's the light crumb cake. I'm grabbing a piece of scrap paper because these will bleed through. And I'm just going to take, first of all, I'm going to start with my ivory. I'm just going to do his nose with ivory and the inside of his ear, or her ear, like that. And I'm just going to take the brush tip, so it says right on the pen which end is the brush tip, and I'm going to start just lightly brushing ink on the bear. Go around there. Yeah, it's hard to believe. Valentine's Day is just about 3 weeks away, so not very far. I'm going to leave it a little bit lighter in the center. I'm going to go around the edge with a little bit darker. All right, and then where there might be shadow, I'm just going to take the dark crumb cake, and I want the bullet tip. I'm just going to go underneath here like this, along there, might be right there, and here, and then a little bit down here. And I think I'll go around his ear too. I'll make that dark. And I'm going to brush just a little bit on the edge here of the back. Okay. Now we're going to add our bear. Move this out of the way. And we're going to add the bear right here. And I already have this popped up on dimensional, so I'm going to add dimensionals just along the back here. Like that. Up here. Right here. And then I'm going to add adhesive glue right here where it's popped up onto that label. So we want just a little bit of glue right here. Okay. And then we've got a bit of a that showing right there. So I think I will just fussy cut. I'm going to stamp one of the little birds. We'll put the little bird there. And we could put a heart there too. That would be cute. Let me see. Maybe I'll do that. Grabbing a heart. I know I had extra hearts cut. There's one. Okay, so maybe put it like that. And then there is a die that cuts hearts in the set. We'll add a dimensional on the back of that. There. Bear hugs and kisses, and let's add a few gems to this. The gems actually come in one of the floral sets. I can't remember the name of it right now. And I'm not finding the gems. I just had them here. Maybe they're under my designer series paper over here. All right, I'm going to show you while I'm looking for that. I'm going to show you the other card that I did. And this card is with real red. So we've got the bear. I've got a little more white on him there. And these are closer together. And so they were wider apart here. And that's why we had the little gap there that we can cover with the heart. All right, I'm still, oh, here's the gems. All right, so again, these gems are called pearlized faceted circles. All right, and we're just going to add a few of these to this. Go put one there, and add one up here. And there's another one there. And then for our inside, we are going to, on the inside on this, I added a couple hearts and Happy Valentine's Day. So we'll get our Happy Valentine's Day. Hi, Kathy. Margaret, you use the crumb cake. Yeah, that's a great idea. I'm actually going to do that on some of the other cards here. It's easier than coloring in the whole bear with a certain color. Then we need some little, let's do flirty flamingo hearts. Okay, we'll add a couple of these. Happy Valentine's Day. It'll be here before we know it. we'll add this right on the inside of our Flirty Flamingo card. I didn't do that so well because I've got glue on the inside here, right there. Okay, so happy Valentine's Day, and there is the front of that one. All right, so for our next card, we're gonna do Flirty Flamingo also, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, and let's see, for this one, we're gonna use the long 4-inch strips. So we've got all of these. Let's decide what colors we want on the front here. These would be pretty. That would be pretty. Maybe I'll use this color, the Flirty Flamingo, and I think with the pink here, like that. So we'll take this one away. We'll save those ones. All right, and we're going to use another layer of basic white. I just moved my box here. Let's see. Grabbing my supply box. Okay, so we've got 5 1/4 by 4, and I'm going to stamp Happy Valentine's Day at the bottom. I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo. We'll get our Happy Valentine's Day here and wipe it off because I've got black ink on it. Let's see. Happy Valentine's Day. And now I'm going to adhere this to our card base. Let's move this out flat. And grab the glue. Today's the last day to sign up for my January kit in the mail with a Hobby Haven Designer Series paper and the Creative Haven bundle. That paper is just fabulous. If you are a crafter, there are different hobbies because it has designs in it for reading, relaxing, cooking, baking, sewing. It's really clever. And it has die cuts too, which is really cool. And then you also get, you get a whole pack of that this month. You get a yard of the garden green chevron ribbon and a yard of strawberry slush, the faux linen ribbon, and then a whole package of the earthy matte dots. And I'll show you the cards that were, you make 2 each of 8 cards. I also have a class coming up. I'm offering a folio album for recipes using that paper. I've got to advertise it. All right, so we're just kind of haphazardly layering our 4 by 1 inch strips on there like that. All right. Then we have a die cut circle using the largest stylish shapes circle from vellum, and I'm going to add adhesive to the center here because that center is not going to show. We're going to layer it right over those strips of paper like that. Maybe needs to go over just a little bit there. All right, and then I've die cut a bear from Pecan. I've already stamped him with Memento Black ink, and I've die cut him from pecan pie paper. And this particular die cuts here and here because we're going to put a little bouquet in the bear's arms. So before we do that, I'm going to color him a little bit. And he is pecan pie, and I'm going to add a layer of the light pecan pie. So he's going to be pretty dark, but he's cute. All right, so I already stamped and pre-cut just to save time because we're doing 4 cards. And again, you don't have to color him in. You can leave him the way he is or just do a little coloring on him. With these pens, you just want to make light, brush lightly. You don't want to really press down too hard. Okay, I'm going to go around his nose. And when you're drawing with using the stamp or the Stampin' Blends, the ink does kind of flow a little bit farther than where you're laying it down on the paper. So you want to be aware of that. It will kind of seep a little bit farther than where you are adding it. Isn't he cute? All right, so he is like a cinnamon bear. And we're going to add him to the center of our circle. But before we do, I'm going to add, we've got a little bouquet that I've already stamped, and I'm just going to color it in here. And I'm going to use real red, actually Poppy Parade, for the little wrapping around the flowers. We're going to color in the centers with Daffodil Delight of those flowers. I'm going to use the bullet tip and just give them a dab in the center here. And I've got the light Flirty Flamingo, or this is light Calypso Coral actually. And we'll add our petals. Calypso Coral and Flirty Flamingo, they're kind of the same kind of base color. All right, and then we'll add a little bit of green. I'm just going to fill that in. And I've got Granny Apple Green here for the leaves. All right, so we're gonna add this to the center of our bear with where that die cut slit is. All right, so we're gonna put them right there like that. And I want them sticking up onto his nose. And I'm just turning it over. I'm gonna add a dimensional right there to hold it. And a dimensional there. And here. Let's bring our card front back in. These kits will go out the middle of next week. So they're to you in time to create for Valentine's Day. There's our little bear. And let's add some twine. I did not have trouble with this sticking up on my other card. Maybe what I'll do is just add a little bit of glue and then stick a gem over it so it doesn't really show. We'll add a little bit there. And then let's add a little bit up here. That's quite a bit. All right, we'll let them sit for a minute and grab some twine. All right, so I always usually do a double bow. So we'll do a double bow. Loop around and then, whoops. Let's try that again. And we want it to be a small bow because it's a small bouquet. So I'm going to cut it down to about like that. I'm just trimming tails. All right, and let's add a glue dot. Okay, so we're going to add a glue dot right there and our little bow over the bear like that. Now let's add some gems over where the glue is down. So we'll put one right here. And let's put another one where our other glue is. Right here. All right, so we've got Happy Valentine's Day. And for the inside, we're going to add a piece that's 5 by 3 3/4. And I think I will just add this across the bottom there. And I know this is going to stick off the end, and we'll just trim that right off. We'll just clip it right off like that. If you're on, say hi. Tell me where you're from. Tell me if you have this set or if you've started doing Valentine's Day cards. All right, and this is going to go right about there. All right, so there is our card number 2. And I'll show you, I did it, this one is very similar. Just use the opposite of the DSPs. And you could put your sentiment down at the bottom there too. Okay, our third card. We're gonna cut a piece of Flirty Flamingo that's 8.5 by 5.5. Just grabbing it. Now to save scoring your pieces separately, if you score your pieces to fold them, I'm going to score it before I cut these in half, and then you'll have two pieces that are already scored and ready to go. So we're scoring it at 4 1/4, and then we're going to cut this at 5 1/2. All right, here's our base. And then I have a piece of basic white cardstock that has been embossed. Let's see the name of this embossing folder. It has hearts, little heart pattern, and then it has the large hearts in it. Let me see what the name of it is. Hearts of Love 3D embossing folder. It's really pretty. I hope you guys can see it there. I'm just refreshing my computer so I can see your comments. All right, and we're going to adhere this to our front. This glue gun is from My Sweet Petunia. You can get it from mysweetpetunia.com, or you can get it on scrapbook.com. Hardly ever gets plugged because of the way it sits in the base that it comes with. It's a great little tool. Okay, so now I have a piece of Flirty Flamingo cardstock. Let me see, I'm going to put this down on my card, but before I do, I'm going to use that other doily half right here, and I want to add this to the card kind of like this. Okay, so I'm going to add it right about there, and we'll just need a few little dots to hold it down because most of it's going to be under our square. Got that like that. And we're going to have our square about like this. We'll go ahead and add this. All right. And so now we're going to use those little squares that we have, the 1.5 inch squares, and we're going to layer them on our Flirty Flamingo. So let's see here how we want to put those. We'll use that one and this one. And because we had cut 2 sheets at once, we have enough to make another set of cards. So I've got probably 1/8 of an inch edge right there going around. And then we'll do the bottom squares. Just like that. All right. Now we're going to add a sentiment, and I have a banner that was cut with a Stylish Shapes die. It's this banner here. I'm going to stamp on it, sending lots of love your way to celebrate this special day. So you could use this set for like a birthday. It doesn't have to be just Valentine's Day. I'm still trying to find my sentiment here. Well, when we get, oh, here it is. Nope, that's not it. Okay, well, we'll do Happy Valentine's Day then. And I'm going to use the black. Happy Valentine's Day. We're going to add it on to this with dimensionals. I love these doilies. They're so pretty. All right, so we're going to come in about probably this far from the edge of our left side of the card here. Of course, now we have to add a bear. All right, and this one is crumb cake, and I'm just going to add a little bit more crumb cake to it. I want the light crumb cake, which is, this is ivory probably. Here we go. All right, and I'm just gonna go around the edge, outlines. I'm not really gonna color the whole bear in. Actually, I might color the whole bear in. We'll color him right in except for his nose. The bears we have around here are black bears. We don't have brown bears around here. We have a lot of bears around here, actually. One night it was summertime and my mom and dad were out front, and I said, oh, I'm going to go for a walk. And I started down the driveway, and here comes a bear out of the horn. And that was the end of my walk for the night. So they are around, but you can't, they're usually afraid of you. The only time I would be really nervous is if I ran into a mama bear with cubs, and that might not be good. Oops, I went up a little bit there. Okay, so there is our cutie bear. And again, we're going to do dimensionals on one part, and well, we can do dimensionals on the whole thing because it's just this part right here that doesn't adhere, or that is on the banner, so to speak. So take our covers off. We'll add our bear like that. Oh, she's so cute. And we need a little die cut heart. So I'm going to add a little heart kind of about like there. And this heart is petal pink. There's a little heart. Let's add some gems. I'm going to put a little gem on the heart right here. Maybe up like that. All right, and then for the inside, we'll add our piece of basic white. Just like that. And then let's do bear hugs and kisses on the inside. Bear hugs and kisses. We'll do some little hearts. Just like that. So the other card that I did in real red, and this is the one in real red. This heart is not sitting right. There we go. All right, so there's a real red one. There's a flirty flamingo one. And this one says, sending lots of love your way to celebrate this special day. Okay, our last card is with the kissing booth. And so we're going to use real red, 4 1/4 by 11. We'll fold that and burnish that fold. Hi, Ann. Oh, wintry Wisconsin. I bet it is. It's wintry here, and I bet it's even more wintry there. Well, I keep saying to my husband, well, the days are getting longer. Thank goodness. Okay, so when I see this is a little bit rough here, and I'm just going to take a one of those buffers for nails, and you can just run that along there, and that will get that off of that. All right, I have a piece of basic white that's 4 1/4 by, or 4 by 5 1/4. And we're gonna adhere it right there. This actually might be 5 by 3 3/4 instead of 4 by 5 1/4. Grab my ruler. Yep, it's 5 by 3 3/4. Okay, we're going to use one of our pieces that's 3 by 3, and we're going to adhere it to a piece that is a square. It's 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. All right, so we're going to adhere this right onto that. Center that on there. And I think I bumped it. Okay. Now we're gonna, I've die cut the little kissing booth. So I've used this die here and this right here. And we're gonna, first of all, we're gonna add this to our basic white with some dimensionals. Okay, and we're going to center it right on there, like that. Look at that, that's not, this is bugging me because this isn't centered. Oh, I wonder if I can peel that off. And we'll add a different piece on there. All right, I have another white piece. I'm going to layer it over this one because it's torn. Add it right there like that. I'm just making a mess here. Come on, get on there. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get this straight now. There we go. How can I make something so simple so hard? Well, you'll have that sometimes. Okay, let's add these here, and I think it will stick down on the other ones that are there. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now we've got, we're going to add this really pretty soft pink on there like that. I'm going to center this. Hi, Janice. Okay, so we've got that on there. Now, I'm going to stamp giving you a smooch. Isn't that cute? Let's find our giving you a smooch stamp. Here we go. All right, guys, this is a way, I know, I saw Lisa Curcio do this, because there's no way of really knowing if we have all our stamps in our sets. So when I get them, I trace around each stamp with a permanent marker, and that way I know if there's one missing. So here's a giving you a big smooch. And we'll stamp it right down here. Hopefully right side up. Giving you a big smooch. All right, so I have die cut the little kissing booth. Let me grab that, and I've used the Country Wood Designer Series paper. I think I'm going to go with this side up like that. And I'm going to put this down flat, and then you add that part with dimensionals. I probably got too much glue on there. All right, so we're going to center that right there, like that. All right, and we'll add dimensionals to the back of this. Oops. Now this is designer series paper, so it's apt to pop up more, so I'm adding extra dimensionals on it. All right, so there is our little booth. Okay, and there's a tiny die to cut little decorative edging, and I've got that right here. So that's gonna go on it like this. I think I want it just below the top of the booth, like that. And then I've already stamped the bear head. And we're going to color in our little bear here. And let's use the light crumb cake. Be careful going around that nose so it doesn't, the ink doesn't move into that area. Okay, so there's our cute little girl bear. We'll add a couple dimensionals to the back of her. And I want her leaning over like the edge of the kissing booth there. And then let's add a couple of kisses to the bottom of our card. Need real red ink here. We've got our little hearts. Do this. And then for the inside, we got another piece that's 5 by 3 3/4, and I'm going to stamp on it Happy Valentine's Day. Or you could use bear hugs and kisses. Maybe I'll do that. That would be kind of cute. Bear hugs and kisses. And let's add some more Little kisses there. Okay. All right, so there is our, oh, we need some gems on there. Oh, we need a little heart too. Let me see if I've got a little heart. Oh, I do. Okay. So, let's put the little heart on with a dimensional. There. And now we'll add our gems. It turned out pretty cute. All right, so there's card number 4. Here's card number 3. Card number 2. And card number 1. There's another red one of card number 1 here. So I hope you enjoyed these, and I'll be showing more cards with this set this week. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Hi, Lisa. Oh, that's okay, Lisa. Okay. Take care now. Bye.